I can never tell whether that's too loud or not. But anyway, I'm glad you're back here with me. It's just ringing in my ears, but hopefully it was a little bit less for you. We are going to talk about skill number 4 today, and I'm glad you're with me. We talked yesterday about the idea of leveraging up your talents and wisdom and your income. If you did not see that, let me give you a really quick review of it. I got a lot of questions about that, or a few questions about that over the last 24 hours, and a lot of people didn't like it. And I think a lot of people, it shoved people out of their comfort zone a little bit. And that's my intention on these lives. I don't want you to keep doing things the same way. Well, let me take this off and talk to you directly, eye to eye. I don't want you to keep doing things the same way. I don't think the future is bright for people who do. I think the future is very bright for those of you and us, and I put myself in there, who can see a different world, can reinvent our skills, can say, you know what, got us here won't get us there, nor will it keep us here. And for some of you, you just refuse to see that. You are so immersed, and the old has been imprinted so deep on us. And I know why. I mean, you don't think I struggle with it? I mean, we all do. But we've always done it that way, so therefore we will always do it that way. And that way is not working, and it hasn't worked, and it will work even less. And you might be able to squeeze a few more ounces out of the orange by squeezing it the old way, but there are other ways to do things. And that was the whole purpose of me sharing this with you. I'm not going to go through it today because I'm not sure it hit home for people. And seeing it one more time may help, but we'll do it again. Maybe next week we'll come back and revisit that. But I want you to make a lot of money. I want you to be massively successful in your business. Why? Because you have enormous talent. I don't even know you, and I know you have enormous talent. I know you have wisdom. I know you have experience. I know you have personalities that are all very helpful for people that your clients love because you help them solve problems. So why are we so reluctant to put ourselves out there to solve problems? I thought we were problem solvers. I thought we were into customer service. I thought we liked helping customers. From the looks of some sales people that I work with or start working with, you don't really care. You don't really care about customers. You say you do, but you really don't. How do I know that? Because you're not putting yourself out there to attract more customers who can bring, who can get value out of your solutions. I thought we said we liked them. I thought we were into customer service. But your social media behavior doesn't show that. Your content creation doesn't show that. Your marketing doesn't show that. So you have to decide for yourself, is this something you really want to do or not? And it may not. And if so, well, then we'll quit talking about it. But I'm not done talking about it today. Anyway, let's move on to what are the skills of the future. We started this series here this week, and I want to get into what is the fourth skill. We talked about awareness, talked about using your gifts. Yesterday, we talked about, the idea of leverage. That's a skill. But today I want to talk about future skill number 4. And it gets back to when I watch an organization, when I watch the people inside a company, and I'm blessed to be able to work with quite a few companies and have over the years, I'm always looking at, well, who's the killer here? Who's the person who just gets stuff done? Not the person with the flamboyant personality and dresses wild and is the center of attention in every room and shakes hands and pats on backs and always has a joke. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the person who gets it done. And a lot of times the skill that person uses to get it done, get stuff done, to make impact, is the skill of orchestration. And orchestration, the idea of that is that I can look at all the things that need to get done. I can look at where we're going. I can look at our vision, and I can orchestrate solutions to get there. So I want to talk to you today about 3 of these. And this is not a skill. I got to tell you, you take all these silly tests and they're supposed to give you the skills. I don't know. I mean, I've never found one yet that works all that well, although I know people get married to them and it's like a cult. They get in a cult, like a what is it called? The disc cult. So But orchestration rarely shows up as a skill that we test for. And I don't know if you can test for it. I think we just have to get better at it and do it. So if you're in complex sales processes where there's lots of people, lots of loose ends, lots of ways for the thing to come off track and get derailed, then this skill is going to be really good for you. So let's talk about the 3 elements of it. I'll go through these really quickly. Element number 1 is you have to see the big picture. You've got to pull focus and ask yourself the question, where are we going? What's the mission here? What's the purpose of this? Why are we doing this? So, for example, let's say somebody comes to you, somebody inside your company, and says, "Hey, we're going to engage in a massive social media / email campaign, and we want you to write a few emails and post some social media. We'll give you what to post, and we'll starts on Monday." Well, the first thing you should ask as an orchestrator, and you are the orchestrator. Again, orchestrator doesn't mean you're the leader, the team lead. Doesn't mean you're the project manager. It means you are the orchestrator. You have to orchestrate things in your life so they are the way you want them to be, or the way you think you want them to be. First question is, what are we doing this for? What's the goal here? Well, get more business. No, you got to do better than that. You got to do better. What's the vision? If we do this, what happens? What's the goal? Well, is it to get 10 customers? Is it to enlarge our footprint in the marketplace? Is to expand our market share? What is it? What's the goal? You as the orchestrator have to be able to pull focus. Pull focus is a camera photography term where you're zooming out and saying, what are we doing here? What are we doing with this? That ability to do that. And this, you don't only ask other people this, I think you ask yourself this. If I'm getting ready to, like we just wrote a book, I think I told you here a couple of days ago, this is going to be available probably Friday of this week, maybe Monday. It's called 12 Bold Moves. And when we wrote it and designed it, Travis helped and did all the kind of the orchestration and project management of it. We had to ask ourselves, what are we trying to do with this? What's the goal of this? And we have some specific goals. And if we don't know where we're going, it becomes hard to orchestrate solutions to get there. So number 1 is just see the big picture, pull focus, something you can ask people and something you have to do for yourself. Number 2, see the pieces of the picture. So, okay, if our goal is to generate 10 new clients this year with this social media initiative, what are the pieces of that? And is there a project management element to it? Have I really looked at all the pieces? Well, we have to get our logo right. We have to get our scripts correct. We have to get what's the thumbnail going to look like? I'm using the social media example. What's the thumbnail going to look like? What's the outro? What's the call to action on these things? What's the branding look like? I mean, there's lots of things that go into the big to getting to the big picture. And I just say, see the pieces of the puzzle, see the pieces of the picture, and that's a project manager. And if you don't have, if you get to the point where you say, well, we're just going to post some social, see what happens, nothing's going to happen. You know that. It's going to be a wasted effort. So, I know that many of you, I suspect, are not project thinkers. You're not project managers per se. You might be planners, but you're not project managers. So I suggest you find there are really good short books on project management. I'm sure there's good videos on it. I read one about 2 years ago, and I cannot remember the guy's name, but he was good. He was I think he was Venezuelan or Colombian, and he was a project manager. He just put everything in such easy terms, and it became an easy process. You don't have to have a degree and a certification in PM from the Project Management Institute. No, you just have to understand, okay, we've got this project. What's the plan? And so that's one thing that I would say is see the pieces. Number 3 is orchestrate the details. And I know you should never use the term when you're defining the term. I just thought about that. But I think we have to always be asking ourselves, what if, and how does it work? I see these politicians, I'm not going to call them leaders anymore because I think most of them are crappy leaders. Or they don't lead at all. They're leading themselves into power. And this is not a political thing. This is both and everybody. But sometimes I hear them speak about, well, we're going to resurface all the roads in the United States, and we're just going to resurface all the roads. And we sit back and say, oh yeah, resurface roads. I don't like chuck holes. I'm asking myself, okay, that's fine. How's it going to work? How's this going to work? Because if I'm going to give you my tax money, and 380 million people are going to give you $1 trillion to resurface all the roads, don't we kind of deserve to know how it's going to work? I mean, is it a 7-year plan? Is it a 1-year plan? Is it a 30-year plan? How's it going to work in the country? How are you going to pay for this? Is it just, we're just cutting a check from our bank account and give to you? How is it going to work? It's a great question for if you're a leader of any kind in an organization, a basketball team, dad's club or little league or whatever you call it. I always want to know when someone suggests something in a nice way, just say, how's it going to work? And you should be asking yourself that too. If we're doing the social media example, okay, how's it going to work? Well, you're going to post some social media. Well, is that daily? Is that every hour? Is that weekly? Is it 5 times? Are you repurposing? There's just a lot of loose ends. And I want to know before I start something generally how it's going to work. Now, I don't want you to get too obsessed with the details that you're looking at a detail and say, oh, well, you missed that detail, so therefore I'm not going to play. No, you're helping. You're helping orchestrate the solution and the vision by understanding the pieces and understanding how the pieces are going to work. If you have a comment today, I'd love to hear from you. I know a lot of people are on mobile, so you don't have a chance to do that. But if you are, I'd love to see you. So those are the 3 things that I think are at the heart of good quality orchestration, the skill of orchestration. See the big picture. Where are we going with this? What's the goal of this? And I even think as a human, as a human being, as a human doing, we have to ask ourselves that about our life. What are we doing here? Not here on the planet, but what are we doing? I'm in a job. This is not me, but you might be saying this to yourself. I'm in a job that I'm not crazy about. I tolerate it. I'm not a big fan of my leader, my manager. I'm not giving it my all. I'm mailing it in. But I don't want to look for another job because we can't afford it or whatever. There's an excuse somewhere in there. There's a pony in there somewhere. So my question is, what are you doing? What are we doing here? That's another question I should put. What are we doing here? Why are we tolerating a job, and why do we stay in that job when we could start our own business? We could create something on our own. We could find a way to cobble together 2 part-time jobs that we love. And I know I'm not talking. I know if you're in the $400,000 a year range and you don't like what you do, you might be a hostage. If there's nothing else in your area, in your lane, you might be a hostage. So you're just going to have to suck it up and love it if you're not willing to move out of that and do something on your own. So I fully understand there's all different conditions, but you have to always ask yourself, what are we doing here? What's the purpose? What's the plan? So I hope that has helped today. You are welcome to go to BillCaskey.com/$1 million seller. If you're a $1 million seller or have that potential, there's a program there that at that website to tell you all about it. And once again, the book will be ready tomorrow, and we'll be taking orders. We'll have operators standing by to take orders. And I hope you enjoyed this live stream today. I will see you